आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
On the show tonight, we ask why Anil Ambani, who's drenched and swimming in muck, absolute muck, the dodger called Anil Ambani, and whether he's finally going to get arrested. At 8:30 p.m. tonight, the version everybody wanted but could not get. Yes, General Manoj Mukund Naravane has broken his silence only on Republic. And at 9 o'clock, the biggest embarrassment to the Congress party, General Naravane has snubbed Rahul Gandhi directly. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Ladies and gentlemen, Anil Ambani is a man who is drenched in muck. Drenched in muck, his last big headline was about his iMessage exchanges with the sexual predator Jeffrey Epstein. Anil Ambani's last headline, which many in Lutyens try to gloss over, was that about his chats with Epstein, where he's speaking with Epstein about, quote, a tall, Swedish, blonde woman, unquote. To which Anil Ambani told Jeffrey Epstein, arrange that. A tall, blonde Swedish woman. This is the kind of conversation he had. This is the kind of muck he's in. But his muck is not the focus of my debate tonight, though I believe it should be investigated. My subject tonight is about the dodger called Anil Ambani. My subject tonight is that Anil Ambani has been issued his 6th summons. He has appeared once, skipped 4 times, and another ED appearance is knocking at his door for the 26th of February. Now he goes running to the Supreme Court and says, I'm cooperating. Absolutely, you are not Anil Ambani. You are not. You are evading. 1 week from today, his last opportunity. I think this time he will come because he might get arrested if he doesn't. But even if he comes, he should be arrested because this is a man who cannot be trusted. Our reporter caught a glimpse of Anil Ambani. And he's very much having a good time in Mumbai. He drove away. My focus is the fact that Anil Ambani is facing a very, very deep investigation in a 40,000 crore probe laundering case. And 40% of the funds were used for debt servicing of his group companies, rather than for the intended purpose of house and finance, which means he took your money and filtered it here and there where he could make money, buy these kind of cars. And what we need to talk about, and which is my point tonight exactly, is that a large section of the funds were round-tripped. So he's a round-tripper also, where the money is routed back to Anil Ambani's company itself. So he's round-tripping money, taking money for one intent, round-tripping it another, then building mechanisms and then thinking that he's going to put out a version that he's too big to fail. Ladies and gentlemen, drenched in muck is not my issue. That the fact that he's probably the mastermind of a major financial scam is the focus. And my focus tonight is on why Anil Ambani is not behind bars. And why the rest of the media, you know that media, the corporate media, they don't have the guts to talk about Anil Ambani. Because they've been part of his PR machine in the past. And stealthily so, they are part of his PR machine today. They don't have the courage to talk about the nature of a scam, ladies and gentlemen. And more frightfully, the pattern of our response is what is making me and you should as well, very nervous, because Anil Ambani might be going to the court today and saying he's not a flight risk. But our agencies need to ask themselves if we can give any longer a long rope to people like Anil Ambani, who are allegedly scamsters as per their own probe. Malia, Choksi, Lalit Modis are merrymaking on the plush islands. While we wait in India and the Indian agencies are pinning their hopes on extradition treaties and elaborate red tape mechanisms of the West, remember, we can't take that risk anymore with Anil Ambani. Anil Ambani gets a long rope, people will lose their faith in the system. And he's getting a long rope right now. And he shouldn't. I'm absolutely sure that no ordinary person would be able to dodge the agencies like he has. So tonight I have just 4 questions. What is the trepidation to arrest Anil Ambani? When the FIR was arrested in this case, was registered in this case in October 25 by the CBI, and the FIR named Anil Ambani, why are we sitting till February 26 still issuing summons to him? What is the trepidation to arrest, and why is he getting a long date of 26th? Why not say, come tomorrow? What is the trepidation to arrest when a forensic audit back in 2020 clearly flagged fund diversion, circular transactions and loans disbursed before sanction? Why did none of the lenders declare fraud? What is the trepidation to arrest when Anil Ambani and his companies were allegedly diverting funds secured through loans to mutual funds for years? It was going on, no? They thought they were the masters of all this while doing business with Jeffrey Epstein, claiming to represent people he had no right to, and engaging in obvious misdemeanors with him, as his dirty messages show. What is the trepidation to arrest Anil Ambani, ladies and gentlemen, when companies with no employees, negative net worth, and common directors granted crores in corporate loans without due diligence or KYC verification? And I would like to say at the end of the day that shame on the financial media of this country, on the so-called pink papers. Shame on them for not doing a deep investigation on their own in this matter, for not making this an 8-page headline, for trying to bury the story of the scam around Anil Ambani, and still being part of a either voluntary or involuntary, organic or inorganic PR machinery around a man with the reputation, or rather lack of reputation, of Anil Ambani. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't let him dodge anymore. Should he be arrested? You judge, we debate.
Mr. Anil Ambani, why are you avoiding investigation? Mr. Anil Ambani.
This is Anil Ambani being stopped by Republic TV and driving away as specific questions are asked.
Mr. Anil Ambani, why are you avoiding investigation? Mr. Anil Ambani.
Seeming to dodge specific questions like he has dodged the 4 summons of the Enforcement Directorate already. His wife, Tina Ambani, has skipped the ED summons yesterday. Instead, Anil Ambani, who's embroiled in the filth of the Epstein files and neck deep in allegations vis-a-vis the ED, filed an undertaking in the Supreme Court of India saying he isn't at flight risk. In his affidavit before the Supreme Court, Anil Ambani seems to be ironically banking on a good character clause, almost saying he hasn't left India since the probe began in July 2025 and had no plan to travel abroad. The coterie around Anil Ambani has been behind bars. His aide, Ashok Kumar Pal, was arrested in October last year, and Puneet Garg, a former director of Reliance Communications, has also been put under arrest 3 weeks ago. But the long rope to Anil Ambani has been under intense public scrutiny for multiple reasons.
The charge leveled against Anil Ambani is of diversion of funds, and the moot question is whether at all he was aware of it or not. Anil Ambani maintains that these decisions were essentially taken by the board members. Documents accessed by Republic TV clearly goes on to indicate that Anil Ambani was very much aware of the diversion of funds. In fact, he has chaired various meetings of the lenders where he's essentially spoken about the financial condition of his own companies.
With the scale of the alleged loan fraud amounting to 40,000 crores, and alleged irregularities amounting to 17,000 crores. Will the Enforcement Directorate finally swoop down and make the Anil Ambani arrest? Or will it be a sword dangling as a political hammer? Or will Anil Ambani be another name added to the listicle of Vijay Mallya, Lalit Modi and Mehul Choksi? The nation demands answers.
What is making the Anil Ambani matter extremely serious and consequential, Santosh Mehrotra, is the fact that he started to get a little brazen about it. He doesn't think it is necessary for him to respond to an agency summons, and the agency just keeps giving him a next date. With anyone else, they would have told him, come tomorrow morning. But with Anil Ambani, they want to make it comfortable. They want to say, okay, take your time, Mr. Ambani. No problem, you didn't come the fourth time. Your wife didn't come. Why don't you take a week, have a good weekend, and come after that? That kind of approach in a matter as serious as this is not just the tip of the iceberg, but a reflection of the sad state of affairs about Anil Ambani. Dr. Mehrotra, this is getting very, very concerning, isn't it?
Well, it should. After all, the forensic audit, the loans were taken between 2013 and 2017. The forensic audit had already been completed in 2019, and reports were submitted. And nothing really seems to have happened since then. I think what we need to be aware of is that this is a case filed by a former retired IS officer of very great integrity, who was himself a expenditure secretary in the Ministry of Finance. And the opposing parties are the Union Corporate Ministry, ADAG, obviously Anil Ambani, plus the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate. So essentially what is being alleged here is, despite the forensic audit being submitted, it took the State Bank of India and the other two banks which have loaned thousands of crores, they've actually filed an FIR, I understand, only in 2025. So if Mr. Ambani has not been arrested so far, we shouldn't be surprised, because actually all the delays have happened on the side of the parties which extended him the money, which report to obviously the Ministry of Finance and the Corporate Affairs Ministry. So I think we cannot only be pointing fingers at ADAG alone. The matter goes beyond that, because the other side in this case are the Union Corporate Ministry and CBI and the Enforcement Directorate.
It's sending a very wrong impression, Manish. You know, because he has this habit of dodging the summons of the Enforcement Directorate. He has a practice, either he skips or he does not appear in person. And despite this precedent, he keeps getting a fresh summons. Now his wife has also started to do that. She has marked her second disappearance and non-appearance from a summons, using the tactic of adjournments, and she's yet to record her statement, which means it is deliberately an attempt at not testifying. I'm not talking about his presence in the Epstein files, where he asks Jeffrey Epstein, who do you suggest? And he says a tall Swedish blonde woman to make it fun to visit, to which Anil Ambani says, arrange a tall Swedish blonde woman. That is another matter. Yes, you can. The point is, you know, in any other country, he would have been behind bars. And the rule of law is what is coming under scrutiny now. Why does the rule of law, Manish, not appear to impact people like Anil Ambani? Why is he getting these special privileges?
Good evening to you, and good evening to my co-panelists and all the viewers. I would like to assure you, Arnab, and through you to all the viewers, that the rule of law is actually hammering him. Somewhere around 14 to 18,000 crore rupees of his assets have been confiscated. This would not have happened had the rule of law not been applied with full force on him. So I think this is something very important. But Mr. Mehrotra forgot to tell that majority of these loans were sanctioned in 2013. And from 2013 to 14, if you go and see RCOM's financial statement, you will find that most of these loans were disbursed during 2013 to 14. And it was a muck that Congress party gave to this government, which this government has actually done great things and ensured that it's cleaned up. Right from the kind of banks were in mess to these kind of loans, and you talked about the kind of malpractices that were happening. All those were sorted out, and he's
no, but it doesn't answer. It doesn't answer my question. Now, if you are going to argue with Santosh Mehrotra, if he's going to argue, PK, that Santosh Mehrotra is wrong about the time and who was his initial public beneficiary, that does no impact on why he's being given a long rope in 2026. PK?
Well, first of all, it has to be established that there is a criminal case against him. If there is a criminal case, he will be arrested. As far as I understand, it is still a civil matter, and the ED has attached some of his assets, which is the correct step to take. It's not as if he's going scot-free. I mean, he has lost a lot of his assets, which will go towards.
No. He's not lost assets.
Repaying
he's
some
not.
of the loans.
He's not lost assets. See, the Bank of India classified loan accounts of RCOM as fraud. This is not a businessman who doesn't know how to do business. The bank alleged that the Reliance Group of ADAG of diversion of loans and non-compliance, and not just Bank of India, but also Ashutosh, and I'm going across to Senior Advocate Ashutosh, who's with us on the program, Ashutosh Srivastava, the Bank of Baroda, the State Bank of India, classified Reliance Communications and former non-executive director Anil Ambani's loan accounts as fraud. So he's done fraud, and he's having a good time. He's in cricket matches, marriages, holidays, having a good time. It's just setting a terrible precedent, Ashutosh. Terrible precedent.
Yes, let me explain. See, first of all, the probe is under the, Supreme Court. Because the PIL was filed in the Supreme Court. Supreme Court ordered that there has to be investigation under its supervision, which is happening at present. Now, if we talk about his statement, what he has made through his affidavit also, that he says that he was non-executive director. Now, this term, non-executive director, means that he says that he was not the person who used to take direct.
Who is the beneficiary?
Day-to-day. One minute. I'm coming to that. Arnab, I'm coming to that. Now, if you see section 149(12) of the Companies Act, which says that if a person is proven that he was not, the executive director and was not directly taking the decisions, can be exempted from such criminal prosecution unless and until it is proved that he had his consent, having the knowledge, and he was totally involved into that particular activity. Now, you can ask me, no, he was involved and there is allegation against him. That is fine, but it is allegation. Obviously, the investigation has to take place, and this is what the Supreme Court is asking. The major concern here is that he should not leave the country and go away, and he should not, avoid the investigation. That is the major portion here, major part here, for which he has filed the affidavit in the Supreme Court that he would not fly, beyond India unless and until there is a proper permission by the court.
This is not his. No, he has no choice. I don't understand this. I mean, please explain to me, Ashutosh. You will not comply with ED summons. You will be seen in all your luxurious surroundings, buying cars worth crores and living in houses worth hundreds, maybe thousands of crores. and you have taken away, siphoned public funds. I mean, Santosh Mehrotra, I think we need to bring this issue down to the fundamentals. Fundamentals. No. Is there a fear of arresting Anil Ambani? Is there going to be too much corporate tamasha?
No.
Let there be.
Coming to that,
No.
See, the arrest can happen only as per the provisions as prescribed under Section 19 of the, PMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act.
These are all interpretations by the prosecution.
For which there has to be the evidences which says that he was actively involved into the transactions. Unless and until the ED and the CBI who are investigating the matter comes to a conclusion that he had that direct role, as it was found out in Mr. Garg's matter as he was arrested earlier, stating that he was having the direct role into the matter and, the transactions.
What is this direct thing that you're trying to build? So now, 1 minute, Santosh, the strategy seems to be to distance Anil Ambani from the alleged crimes that have been committed out here, and to present him as some kind of Mickey Mouse character, poor little fellow, knows nothing, walks around like Donald Duck in his office, has no idea. He's simpleton. He's a simpleton, poor little fellow with bad employees. Who's going to buy that? Who in the country is going to, are you going to buy it, viewers? Santosh, it's more serious.
No, of course it is extremely serious. The point is that whenever the loans might have been taken, what's important to establish is the following: that the diversion of funds is the matter at hand. Why that there were massive scale diversion of funds into shell companies and companies abroad, and all of this would have happened obviously well after the loans were taken. Now, the investigation clearly has been going on for a while, and that discovery had already been made by the 3 banks. Otherwise, why would they have referred the matter to the ED as well as the CBI? So the real issue that arises is, why is it that this entire investigation has taken as long as 7 or 8 years to bring it to the point where, even the talk about him being arrested can be brought up? Because after all, even his employees, the senior employees who have been arrested, as you just informed us, they were arrested late last year. So, in other words, there have been extensive delays in the investigation. There is clearly enough of information available from the detailed forensic audit reports that have come out for the action to have been taken. But that action has not happened.
Now, this case is coming under public scrutiny. Let me share why, Manish. What people are asking, that this is a rerun of Malia, Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi. And all the cases have involved systemic siphoning of public funds. And all these people, especially Malia, thought, I'm too big to fail. Whose money? Manish, PSU funds, people's money, nationalized by the Indian government to benefit the people of the country, not to buy Rolls-Royce cars for Dodger Anil Ambani, to fly down to New York to meet Jeffrey Epstein, who will arrange tall, blonde Swedish women for him. Is this the purpose of the taxpayers' money? Manish, see, there will be scrutiny on this man and how you're dealing with him.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. I agree with you. And I must assure you that I did. That this particular case actually came into light in 2020. It was after 4 years of disbursement that the banks realized that there are massive, in fact, fraud which has happened. And that is why the case has taken so long. So, the entire disbursement happened till 17. It took 4 years to get disbursed from 13 to 17. The fraud got caught around 2021. The legal recourse was taken, and that has ensured, and the CBI, the court, in fact, that FIR was filed somewhere later on. And that's why this court, this entire court proceedings and everything under Supreme Court is going on. And as I mentioned earlier, that this is a very different case than what you have mentioned about Mallya and other people. Because here,
how is it different?
It's
how is it different?
18,000 crore has been confiscated, and most importantly, the court is under it, and the government has ensured that he has not moved outside. So he's facing the heat, and if he has done any wrongdoing, as per the court, as per the law, he would be behind bars.
No, what was the Harshad Mehta scam about? Let me remind you. I don't, now this is going to make you jump.
No.
What Harshad Mehta, what was it? Are there not similarities with Harshad Mehta? This is business that is markets, in the sense that during the Harshad Mehta scam of 1992, it was later found that Harshad Mehta had bribed the bank officials to gain false BRs to run his short-selling business in the BSE. Right? Now, therefore, please understand, businessman-banker collusion, people of India, citizen getting cheated, exploitation of flaws in the banking process, layering and diversion of funds, systematic siphoning of public funds, fraudulent accounts. It can't get more serious than that, PK, if you look at only substantively the issues we are dealing with. Then you see this man hanging around, going to shadi, jumping here, there, as if nothing happened. If he gets away, people will lose faith. People will lose faith, PK. This is becoming too high profile now. This case, the knowledge among the people.
Well, I don't think there's any real danger of him escaping the country. One of the big differences is that he has taken loans from the likes of Shanghai Electric, and he has faced the law in the UK courts already. So it's a little more difficult for him to leave this country because there are cases against him outside India as well. I think with regard to this particular matter, the big difficulty is that if fraud has been established, then what is required really is that the banks that are alleging fraud, Bank of India, as you mentioned, or Bank of Baroda, should file a criminal case against him. If they file a criminal case against him, then it's possible to do what you are suggesting, which is to arrest him. But if there isn't a criminal case, if it's still a civil matter, then arrest is not the first option. What is required is a clear investigation, and the ED is in that process. The ED is attaching some of his assets. And thereby ensuring that
But then that's saying that a person can pay his way out. I don't think this can be because I found what happened with these brothers who were there, the Sandesara brothers. I found it horrible. I found it unacceptable that the court allowed them to get away by paying a certain amount to lose the sense of criminality. This sets a wrong precedent because, if suppose you cheat people of 20,000 crores and you pay 5,000 crores to get the criminality out, it becomes a model, Santosh Mehrotra. I will cheat someone of 20,000 crores. I will spend 1,000 crores on lawyers and 5,000 crores as an initial payout. I will bring some of the money outside the country and then I'll go scot-free.
I just wanted to come.
No, Manish, these are not good things. No, these are Manish and Ashutosh. This is bad.
Because there is a Supreme Court lawyer also, he would clarify. But I thought that CBI has registered an FIR and that itself criminal law has been triggered. And then Enforcement Director is also probing under PMLA. And that's a serious criminal statute. So I don't
I'm saying he seems to be taking the whole system for granted. No,
he is not.
And he's a master at it.
Criminal investigation. And he is entitled to the similar processes of law as you and I are.
I don't think. I think he's getting much more than any normal citizen would.
Other person.
No.
Probably he's taking advantage.
People are watching. He's taking advantage of his profile, his connections. Santosh Mehrotra, perceptually, how do you view this?
No, perceptually, I think PK keeps bringing up the issue that unless a criminal matter is established, he can't be put behind bars. I think, as the lawyer is rightly pointing out, the PMLA, a violation of the Money Laundering Act, is actually going to make him liable to be criminally prosecuted and hence can be possibly put behind bars. I think that's essentially. So I think let's not get into the civil versus criminal matter.
No.
There is enough forensic evidence emerging in respect of diversion of funds, fraud on a massive scale, routing of funds abroad and then bringing them back through automatic approval processes into, getting money into through the legitimate purpose of FDI, foreign direct investment into an Indian company. All of that. There's the issue of, his buying a luxury yacht, using these funds. So there is a lot out there which has been alleged in the petition that is currently being investigated. What we would like to see happen, Arnab, I think at this juncture, is that the matter has dragged out long enough, 5 years clearly since the forensic audit report came out, and we haven't come to a fruition.
Well, I think it's very serious, very concerning, and I'm sure the government will be worried about the impact it could have on perception if he continues to behave this way. I thank you very much.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।